welcome to the Sanctuary, a safe space to speak from the heart. I'm your host, Israel, and my guest today, someone I've been dying to talk to, my friend, creative, and really, really interesting person with a really, really interesting story I can't wait to share on the podcast today. Alexa, thanks for coming to the Sanctuary.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked before, and I kind of have a background, but I just want to plant my audience at the beginning. It's a good place to start. So for you, where did this journey all start?
It started last year when I met a friend who introduced me into the lifestyle of, swingers lifestyle, slut lifestyle, things like that. And my journey really started when I got on FetLife.
No, so like, how did you connect, and what was, I guess, the first thing you did?
The first thing I did was try to find guys to be with. Search for different guys just to see if I liked being with multiple people at one time.
And what was the reason behind that? Like, what led to you deciding to start that journey?
I like sex, and I like sex with multiple people, and I've always had that slutty background, so why not show it?
So has it always been there before last year? And if it's always been there, like, in what ways did you experience it?
When I was married, I always went outside of our marriage to be with other people. And I mean, from a young age, I've always liked sex. Always loved oral sex. And it's just been, it's me. It's who I am. So
I'm
not
curious,
being tied down to one person.
Yeah, I'm curious. What do you love about it?
Just the way that it makes me feel. How it makes me feel slutty, and like it's an amazing feeling when you're with multiple people, and it just makes me happy.
Did it did you get into multiples right away, or?
Not right away, no. I did with just one-on-one with guys, and I didn't really start getting into multiple people at one time. If that's what you're asking, like,
yeah,
multiple people at once. I just did one-on-one for a while, and then a couple of months into it, I started doing threesomes and two guys at once. And
do you have a preference? Like, if you were going to choose, which would be the right number for you?
Like, how many guys at one time?
Yeah.
I mean, I consider myself a whore. I would like 100 at once.
Okay,
I mean, there's an endless number.
So you connected with your friend and decided to start this journey. Was it easy to find partners, or?
It was hard at first. At first, we didn't have FetLife. We only had like Tinder and Facebook dating, different dating apps. So it was a little bit harder because not everybody you met was into that kink or, that kind of lifestyle. They were looking for long-term relationships, and you weren't. You just wanted friends with benefits, or, hookups one time and done, or, somebody that would come back repeatedly. So at first, no, it was hard trying to find guys to be with until I found FetLife.
And when that discovery happened, like, what was easy about it?
Easy about FetLife, like finding them on FetLife, because they were like-minded people that were out for the same thing you were. Most of the guys that I met right away on FetLife, their kink was being with a slut. Watching her be with 100 guys at once, or watching her be with multiple people every day, and showing it. And that's what, on FetLife, that's what most guys are looking for, is that true slut.
So how long from when you started till that discovery, like, was the long gap, or?
I started, got into it in February, and I think I had started FetLife like in March.
Oh, okay. So like a few weeks, give or take.
Yeah.
Um, Between February and March, like what was your tally, and how high or how quickly did that number go up?
February to March, it was pretty low. I really didn't like, date it to how many I had within a month or whatever, but I probably February to March, I'd say maybe around 50 guys, give or take a little bit.
That is pretty low. Okay, okay. So in March, what happened?
And then when I got on FetLife, it inclined quickly. Like I went within a month or two, I went up to over 100 guys.
All right, that you pretty much doubled the number, give or take.
Yeah.
So do you have like a process when it comes to vetting? Like, because it's online, right? And people don't always represent themselves in, I guess, the honest way. Like, do you have a way to vet to decide, okay, this is a right fit, this is not a right fit?
I mean, I ask questions. My main concern is that they don't have, like a history of, you know, background of drugs or anything like that is what I really look for. But most of them really, there's been some guys that I've met, like on the dating apps or FetLife,
Mm.
that I started talking to them, and that same day their cock was in my mouth. So, I mean, not knowing much. I always ask for a picture so
Right,
I
right,
see who
right.
I'm meeting, but I mean, I play it safely, but sometimes it's just if there's a vibe, I'll meet them that exact same day.
So is it is it in the same venue? Do you like just like where do you meet?
It just depends. I mean, when I'm around here in my hometown, usually it's about the same place all the time. It's just a secluded place away from everywhere, usually a graveyard or empty parking lot or
Oh,
something.
public. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That, I guess, that adds a layer to it.
Yeah, I don't give out my address. I don't do it at home around my children or anything. So yeah, it's usually all public play.
Wow. That got a little bit more interesting. I thought it was like, okay. So I mean,
I mean, I've been in lots of places to have sex. Like the Walmart bathroom, the family bathroom.
what?
Yeah. And then let's see, like parking lots, just I blew a guy in the middle of a gas station parking lot with people behind us pumping gas.
Wait, was it glass tinted or?
No, like I was actually standing at his driver door with his door wide open.
Alexa, oh my god.
In the middle of Menards too, with an employee once. Yeah.
Huh. I mean, it's good because the person knows the place and knows when it's okay to do
Yep.
that. Does that add a layer to you of or like does it add any spice to you when it's in
Yeah, it
public
does.
or?
It's when it's in public and there's a chance of getting caught, it's exciting. It's
Ah,
a very big turn on that, you might get caught, somebody might see you or, you know, I mean, there's people I'm sure that know what you're doing, especially when you're in a public place like that and you walk out and you still have cum covered on your face and you're walking out of a public place.
wait, do you mean by you don't wipe off or?
No, you do the cum walk. You walk right out of there.
Okay, so uh we got to March and like the number just kept going up, and was it repeat people, was it new people, and did you start having like a process for how to tally your number?
It was like it increased quickly, and the way that I tallied it was like notes on my phone. I
Okay.
After I had been with somebody, I would just put it down. Last year there was 387 new guys. Like that's I may have met them multiple times, but when they were new and I first met them, I would put that down as a different number from like how many blowjobs I would do.
So that's like
So
1 point something a day, give or take, even though you started in February.
yeah,
You're a little bit of an overachiever, hey? Just a little bit.
a little bit.
And like, how would you feel when you see that number? Like, what does it make you feel?
Well, at the end of the year last year in December, when I looked at my numbers, I did 488 blowjobs for 2023, and that made me feel amazing. Like that set off that slut vibe in me that I was proud of myself for what I had done.
So, I mean, it's beginning of the year. People usually do resolutions now. I'm curious, being that you're so data driven, you have this data from last year. Do you kind of have a target for this year, like a goal, a certain number you want to get to?
I would like to hit 1,000. I'm hoping more than that, but I would love to hit 1,000.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
determined.
okay, so let's jump back a little bit before we come to the present time. Like you know, got on the page, started vetting people and getting the numbers up. But like, how was it setting up your first most I'm like
Setting up my first meeting with a guy, like the first ever, or
no, not the
just my
first ever,
first
like a
off of,
group.
oh, like my gangbangs.
Yeah.
The first one was I was very nervous. I didn't know what to expect that first one. And my very first one, they didn't come all at once in a group. They were, throughout the night they came.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
like one right after another.
Hmm.
And so to me, it didn't feel like a real gangbang. I wanted, guys there all at once using all of my holes at the same time, like, packing me airtight. And it was one by one that came.
Oh,
So
I
that
see.
first one was a little like still didn't know what to expect the next time I did
How did
another
you
gangbang.
how did you I guess arrange that one night? In what was it, still just sending messages or
The first one, yeah, we just used FetLife and created an event and invited people that way. I wasn't very well known yet. CockGoddess wasn't out there yet on FetLife.
mm,
And so I wasn't very popular that first one. So it was just mainly a couple local people. It ended up being eight. I stayed Saturday night and Sunday night, or no, I stayed a Friday night and a Saturday night. So those two nights, it ended up being eight people.
okay.
So yeah,
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's kind of just petering to. Oh,
it
okay,
was
okay,
like
okay.
here and there. Like I didn't have
Right.
two people at once. They were
Mm.
came
So
multiple times.
did you? What were the things you learned then, and how did you apply those lessons to your next one?
I think the way like the next event that was created, it was worded differently. That I wanted all of them there. DP. I wanted, my holes filled airtight. So then they got the idea they want it as a group section or group event instead of like one by one. So
Okay, so
and
that's the
it
first thing that changed. And what was the gap between the first one and the second one? And was it any different? Did you achieve what you wanted to?
um I did my first gangbang in April. I think it was like around the 21st of April that I did my first one. I think. I can't remember the dates very well, but then
Hmm.
my second one was I believe it was in May. I think I did them like a month apart or a little over a month apart.
Oh, okay. Lesson learned. Was that one
Yes.
any better? And did you get what you wanted?
I It was a lot better, and yes, I did. So I mean, I think there
What were
ended up
some stark differences between the first one and the second one?
differences between the second one and the first one.
Yep.
The difference was with the second one, there was a group of guys that showed up at the exact same time, and it was different. Like starting out, I had guys all around me, blowing them all at once, going back and forth between each of them, and then most of them, once they got off, they left, and then there was still, I think I had three there at once, and they gave me what I wanted to feel or to know what it felt like to be, double penetrated and a cock in every hole. So,
And
and that was amazing.
was it also like a weekend? And what was the tally at the end of that period?
I was doing, I did a gangbang for two nights that night. So it was a Friday night and a Saturday night in two different cities.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did Friday night in Terre Haute, Indiana, and I had a total, I think, of eight. I think there, and then there's some of them, like I said, once I got off, they left, and then there was a three that stayed.
Hmm.
And then the next night, I did one in Lebanon, Indiana, and I think there was only like three guys there, and it ended up being a blow bang. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
I just blew them, and they left.
The name, where did it come from? What's the story there?
CockGoddess. So a guy, the very first guy that I met off of
Ah.
Plenty of Fish, and I had been with him multiple times. He's the one that introduced us into FetLife and showed us what that kink was, and it was like-minded people like me.
Mm.
And I just tried to find a name that fit me, and I love to worship cock, and I was good at what I did. So, Cock Goddess.
What was some of the feedback you get that made you realize, okay, yeah, I know what I'm doing?
It was every guy that I had been with and gave him a blowjob didn't have one negative thing to say about it. It was every one of them was, "This is the best blowjob I have had in my entire life,"
Oh.
or "You really know what you're doing. I love the way you do that." So it was
And
always positive feedback that I was
mm,
getting from every guy. So it made me want to, you know, get better and better each time I did it.
hmm um, how do getting all that type of positive feedback? How does it feel for you?
It was amazing. I mean, it's, I don't know how to explain it other than it's an amazing feeling. I mean, it gives you happiness and pleasure, and I love every minute of it. I love the way that it feels. I feel in that moment when I'm with somebody. It's, it's an amazing feeling. I'm proud of myself for what I've accomplished.
So, did you set any more events, or was it just the two and done?
I had a total of five last year. Total of five
Okay.
gangbangs last year.
Of the five, which one is the standout one, and why is that one the standout event?
The the last one is the one that stands out. I had it December 9th in Lafayette, Indiana, and it was a total of 16 guys. There was a few that came before and a few that came after, but I had 10 guys there all at once using me.
Oh wow. So I guess with each iteration, you just tweak things to get better and better and better. By the time you got to that fifth one, what was something you did that got all that number and got all that response you got?
It was like, I did a gangbang in September, on September 9th, I think it was too. And I think like at the end of December, I started, an event advertising my gangbang for December. So
Oh.
I started it earlier,
Mm.
is what I did, more in advance. And, kind of in the description, you put more of what you're wanting. And I think that a lot of it too, I think helped that how popular I became on FetLife. I mean, I had a few guys even tell me you're FetLife famous. So I think once, you know, Cock Goddess got out there more and people, guys started seeing that I was real and not some scam or fake, then that's what helped my numbers with each one.
Before actually, I had a question, but before that question, let's talk about the numbers. Like how because it's not even a year based on the timeline. How did you get such a high number of followers, and how do you manage it?
I think I got the high number of followers because of how much I posted about myself and put myself out there. Like the different, if I had been with someone, I would take pictures and post those pictures. And I mean, people ask me, how do you get so many followers? It's constantly posting pictures of yourself. So guys see that you're a real person and you're not a fake or a scam. And, you know, that's that's how my numbers grew, was just putting myself out there, telling my story on FetLife.
Okay. About the event itself, how do you prepare yourself physically and mentally?
Physically, I have an 18-inch double-headed dildo that I use to train all of my holes with. So just especially my throat so that it's open for events like that and I can take them all the way down. prepared for anything. Mentally, I mean, mentally, I'm nervous before everyone because you don't know how they're going to turn out. You want them to be perfect and better than the last.
Hmm.
So I'm always a little bit nervous. I mean, not a scared nervous that, you know, it's just more of you want everything to go correctly in the way that you plan and how you picture it in your mind.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's just, I mean,
No, I mean, so you have your notes, you have the number, you have the goal for this year, you know.
mhm,
It's been at the date of the recording like 3 4 weeks now, 3 weeks and some days into the new year. What's the number like on your note for this year?
oh, I haven't looked at it in a while. I do believe that I'm up to like 17 new guys, I think. And I think I've already been repeat guys. I've been with 30, I think. I would have to
So
look. I'm pretty sure it's 30.
that's total 30, and the month hasn't ended yet, and you're pretty much way ahead. So it's like one a day, give or
Yeah.
take.
But really, and
Um,
it never really was like one a day. It's been a slow start with the weather and stuff. It's not played
yes,
very good
yes.
against me this year. So some of those were like two or three in a day. So
So there's a chance, like, as spring starts and it becomes summer, it's gonna exponentially rise again.
yeah, more guys are going to want to meet you have a warmer place in public because I mean, I
Right.
don't have very many places that I can go inside and do it.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm wanting to create something, my own room to be able to do whatever I want in.
Mm.
But right
I
now it's
mean,
just outside, so it's slow.
yeah, yeah, no, and that's actually what's making me think. I'm like, okay, cool. You're doing this because you love it. That's
Yes.
pretty much it, right? Like
Yep.
it's not the,
It's my passion.
yeah, it's like, so you found this thing you love and you're doing it because you love it, and you're
Everybody
bringing.
has, when they're born, they have a purpose in life, and I do believe mine is to service men. I mean, I
Wow.
really do believe that's what I
How
was
did
put here
that
for.
realization come to you?
Just how good I was at it, how much I enjoyed it, how much the guys I've been with enjoy being with me. I please them, and they come back for more. And I mean, I just realized it's something that I was good at. It's that simple.
So we've talked about this though, but let's jump a little bit. So, a few years into the future, what's the ultimate goal for you?
Ultimate goal would be a well-known whore everywhere, like, or slut everywhere. I mean, whatever way you want to put it. So
Mm.
that would be like, I think my biggest goal is I would love to do porn, like be a porn star. That's I
I
would
mean,
love it.
when you think about it, you are though, like, what is the difference in your mind between where you want to be versus where you are now?
I mean, now, yeah, you could say that it's like creating porn. You're creating your own porn by being with other guys, creating the content and posting it, you know, on different sites for people to see. But I want that well known, like, the past porn stars that everybody knows. And
Right, right, right,
that's my
right.
future goal. Like, I want well known. Oh, that's, a
That
huge porn
person.
star. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane though. It's award season now, but there are awards for that. So maybe winning an
Yeah.
award someday.
Yeah. I would love to win an award someday for what I do. And
Okay,
I mean, in the future, I want to travel too. I want to travel to do gangbangs in different cities. And of course, once my kids are older and I can do that. But yeah,
talking
that's my
about
goal.
that, do you have an event coming up or one planned?
I do. I have one planned in Memphis, Tennessee for April 2nd, I do believe. It should be posted on, the event is on FetLife under Memphis Gangbang. So,
Oh, okay. So
yep,
you've
just
learned
look for
that the further
CockGoddess and you'll
out
see
you
it.
plan, the more stable and the more, I guess, sure of the
Yeah,
numbers you will get. Okay, so like kind of give it
Yep.
time to
Let
plan.
everybody see it, get it a chance to circulate through FET. So, yep.
So they know this is gonna happen. But in between, you have all this. Hey, this happened this day. Okay, well, that's great
Yep.
marketing. Yeah, I mean, it's always great talking to you. Bless you. It's always great talking to
Sorry.
you. And I want to end it with this though. Someone is listening, watching this episode, and they're like, "Man, you know what? I used to feel a certain way because this is me or someone similar." Because when you think about it, like the world is a little bit understanding now, but there are still people that judge and stuff,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then the person
I'm
is
sure
watching
I've
and they
been judged a lot this past year. So
exactly, and the
it
person
doesn't
is
bother
watching or
me.
listening to this episode, and they're like, I feel inspired by you. I'd love to do what you're doing. Like, what advice can you share?"
The best advice that I could give is if that's what you want, like you secretly do that. I mean, and you want to become a slut, follow your dreams. I mean, if that's what you want and that's what you're good at, then enjoy the lifestyle. I mean, you're always going to have haters, you're always going to have people judge you, but be yourself. And if that's, being a slut or a whore is what you enjoy and you enjoy doing it, then go for it. Don't let people stop you just because of, their negative judging or, hate comments. Just do what pleases you. And if that's what you want to get into, then my best advice for any woman that wants to become that, get on FetLife. Go to fetlife.com and, look me up. Look up CockGoddess. I can help you in any way I can. But just explore that and see what, there's a bunch of kinks out there. People are into all kinds of things. And to each of their own. I mean, somebody might not like what I like, but I'm still going to share my story with them and hear their story and experiences, and maybe I would learn something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Wow,
put
it's
yourself out there if that's what you want to do.
put yourself out there if that's what you want to do and follow your dream. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. It's always brilliant talking to you, and thank you for coming to the sanctuary today.
Thank you for having me.